I used to think I understood myself. At 31, I had a steady job, a modest apartment, and a circle of friends who thought of me as reliable Jason, the dependable guy who fixed printers, brought donuts on Fridays, but inside, there was always a quiet hum, a faint vibration beneath the surface of everything I did, a feeling I couldn't name. It wasn't sadness, it wasn't boredom either. It was more like I was playing a role written for someone else, and no matter how well I performed, the costume never quite fit. Then Jennifer started working in the office. She wasn't loud or showy, quite the opposite. She had this calm, magnetic presence. People gravitated toward her, not because she demanded attention, but because she made them feel seen. I noticed it right away. Everyone did. The first time we talked, it was about coffee. She'd brought her own French press, and ID joked about how fancy it looked compared to the burnt sludge from the breakroom machine. "You can't rush a good brew," she said, smiling. "Takes patience. The right balance makes all the difference." Something in the way she said it made me feel like she wasn't just talking about coffee. Over the next few weeks, we talked more. Little things, books, music, office gossip. She had a knack for asking thoughtful questions, the kind that made me pause before answering. She noticed details, like how I hesitated to look in mirrors or how I always deflected compliments. One afternoon, she leaned across my desk and said softly, "You ever feel like there's more to you than people see?" I froze. It was such a simple question, but it felt like she'd looked straight through me. "Yeah," I admitted. "Sometimes." She smiled gently. "Don't ignore that part, it's usually the truest one." I thought about that all night, and the next day, and the next. That weekend, I stood in front of my bathroom mirror longer than usual. I studied my reflection, the stubble, the tired eyes, the way my shoulders seemed to slump forward as if weighed down by something invisible. For a moment, I imagined what it would be like if I looked softer, not weaker, just different. What if the person in the mirror could smile freely, without that guarded tension in their jaw? I laughed it off and went about my day, but something had shifted. A few days later, Jennifer mentioned she was going thrift shopping for clothes and invited me along. I almost said no. It felt like something only close friends did, and I didn't want to assume that kind of closeness. But she insisted. "It'll be fun," she said. "You have good taste, I can tell." At the store, she held up a light cardigan. "This color would look amazing on you," she said. I chuckled. "You're joking, right?" "Not at all." She tilted her head. "Try it, just for fun." I don't know why I did. Maybe it was her tone, teasing, but kind. Maybe it was because part of me wanted to. The fabric was soft, and the color, pale lavender, seemed to soften everything about me. My shoulders didn't look so harsh. My posture straightened without effort. Jennifer's eyes lit up. "See? I knew it." And in that moment, I felt something I hadn't felt in years, right? It wasn't about the clothes, it was about permission. Permission to explore, to exist beyond the narrow borders I'd built for myself. That night, I caught myself smiling in the mirror again. Not forced, not practiced, just me. Over the next few weeks, those small moments multiplied. I started moisturizing my face, growing my hair a little longer, even experimenting with colors I'd never worn before. Jennifer noticed, of course. She never said much, just little things. "That color suits you," or "You seem happier lately." One evening after work, we walked out together. The sky was turning gold and pink, the city humming softly around us. She looked at me and said, "You're changing." My heart skipped. "Is that a bad thing?" She shook her head. "No. I think you're finally becoming yourself." Those words echoed inside me long after I got home. I stood in the mirror again, brushing my hair back, staring at my own reflection. For the first time, I whispered my name, not the one on my ID, but the one that had been hiding deep inside for years. Amelia. It felt strange on my tongue, but right, so right. That night, I dreamed I was walking through the city, sunlight on my face, a soft breeze catching my hair. I was smiling, unafraid, alive. And in that dream, Jennifer was there, just watching, smiling like she knew. When I woke up, the hum inside me wasn't faint anymore. It was steady, growing stronger, and I knew my life was about to change forever. If you enjoyed this and want the next chapter of the story, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.